Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. My name is Ahmed. Today I am going to talk to you about the effect of using Gaussian Kurtosis and LogCosh as kernels in ICA on the satellite classification accuracy. Abstract. This study focuses on the effect of using ICA transform on the classification accuracy of satellite image using the maximum likelihood classifier. The study area represents an agricultural area north of the capital Baghdad, Iraq, as it was captured by the Landsat 8 satellite on 12 January 2021, where the bands of the OLI sensor were used. A field visit was made. A variety of classes that represent the land cover of the study area and the geographical location of this class were recorded. Gaussian Kurtosis and LogCosh kernels were used to perform the ICA transform of the OLI Landsat 8 image. Different training sets were made of each of the ICA and Landsat 8 image separately that used in the classification phase and used to calculate the classification accuracy. Statistical analysis for the result of the classification of each scene is the present for each class. The study showed that the ICA transform makes the satellite image significantly increases the classification accuracy, as well as the Gaussian kernel gives the highest classification accuracy than other kernels. Introduction. In Earth observation operation, the classification of satellite image represents one of the main problems facing the investigation of this image due to their high texture and high spatial resolution. Among the factors that negatively affect the quality of the classification result in the scarcity of training sample compared to the number of available spectral channels, which causes the so-called dimensional coarse Hughes phenomena, which affects the generalization capability of the classifier. The dimensional reduction strategy by mirroring the spectral channel in order to extract subset features that reduce the redundancy occurring in original information helps in improve the classification result. Another factor affects the quality of classification is the prior knowledge of the classes to be classified, as the availability of the required information about the classes generally affects the quality of the work of the classifier. One of the approaches to assist to increase the classification accuracy is by using the independent component analysis, ICA, where the ICA is known to be ineffective in separating independent component recognition. The ICA generally uses the technique of the blind source separation, which is frequently used in many disciplines, particularly statistical pattern recognition. Geophysical process is also used ICA and other methods. It is also utilized in data mining, image recognition, speech enhancement, and wireless communication. Just recently, ICA has garnered interest in hyperspectral domain and in particular with respect to feature detection and unmixing. And ICA has also been used to classify features using hyperspectral sensors. In remote sensing, especially that use hyperspectral bands, ICA extracts the mixed signal measured by the sensor and the different class components that coexist in the scene. ICA algorithm usually is based on the maximization of different criteria. The various criteria scheme produce various feature sets that can be used in the classification process. However, the proposed algorithm for making an ICA transform suffers from a paucity of studies comparing the use of each one of them and its effect on classification quality. This paper focuses on use of three kernels of fast ICA, namely Gaussian, Kurtosis, and LogCosh, and its effect on increasing the accuracy of image classification by using a different training sets for each classification of the same image using the ENVI program to study Landsat 8 scene, and the variation of the classification accuracy for each kernel. The study set cover area of 1,370 square kilometers, which represent the north of Baghdad province with part of the south of Salahuddin province of Iraq. It lay between the longitude 44,029.68 to 44,31,31,76 and latitude 33,45,20 to 33,13,1.78. It lay in the Landsat 8 scene located at path equal 169 and true equal 37, captured at 12 January 2021 as illustrated in Figure 1, the satellite scene downloaded from USGS seat. The domain feature of the study is agricultural land with other type of arid areas, urban areas, fish lake, and Tigris River. Methodology: to study the effect of using different kernels for the ICA transform, Gaussian, Kurtosis, and LogCosh on the satellite's classification accuracy, the following steps are adopted. Number 1, using the OLI Landsat A sensor bands only. Number 2, transform the digital value of the satellite bands to the top of atmosphere TOI reflectance using the following equation, where rho sub lambda dash equal TOI planetary spectral reflectance, and on and on and on. Number 3, applying the ICA on the OLI Landsat 8 bands using the different kernels. Number 4, collecting training seats that represent the feature of the study seat land cover for the Landsat image and the independent component produced using the different kernels. Number 5, classifying the OLI Landsat bands and the ICA component obtained from different kernels. Number 6, calculating the statistics for each classified scene. Result and discussion. To study the ground cover of the study area for main classes are taken into consideration for the feature present in the land cover of the study area, namely plants, soil, urban, and water bodies. 11 secondary classes were enrolled within these main classes as shown in the table 1. This table 1, the main and the secondary classes that presented in study area land cover. These are field visit sites. Training group were collected for the diagnosed subclass that represent the components of the land cover for the study area, and in order to determine how accurately these samples represent and the varieties that make up the land cover, the separability of this training group was collected using the Jeffries-Matusita criterion and for each pair. It's found that all pairs for the training group of the subclass achieved a distance higher than 1.9 with the expansion of dry grass, clay, and limestone soil subclass as shown in Table 2. Like shown in Table 2, the separability value for the subclass pairs the field to achieve 1.9. The main reason attributed to this decrease in the value of separability between these pairs of subclass is the low spatial resolution of Landsat 8 30 meters, in addition to the fact that dry grass distributed in the form of low-density spots interspersed with the land, which caused interference with subclass for soil. The land cover of the study area was classified by using the maximum likelihood classifier, like shown in the figure 2. And the areas and percentage of each subclass were calculated of the 4 seen Landsat and 3 ICA images that obtained using different kernels, as shown in Table 3. So, where we note that there is a slight difference in the area value and percentage, this is due to the different training samples that were collected for each scene. This figure showing the classified scene using the maximum likelihood classifier for each image without number 1, without ICA and ICA LogCosh and ICA Kurtosis and Gaussian. This table 3 is showing the area and the percentage of each classified subclass, and color we are present to the any class, and area by square kilometers and percentage for any kernels. The total areas and the percentage of the main classes were calculated for previous classified for scenes and as shown in Table 4. We note that there is a slight difference in the area values and percentage for the same reason mentioned previously. And this table for the total area and the percentage of the main class we have for plant, soil, urban, water. The overall classification accuracy and kappa coefficient were calculated for all the classified scenes compared to the training seats that were collected for each scene, as there is a clear increase in the classification accuracy when using the ICA transformation for different kernels, as in Tables 5. Conclusion. From the results obtained in this research, we can reach the following conclusions. The use of ICA is necessary in order to separate the interference between the spectral bands of the OLI. Landsat 8. Those obtain high classification accuracy and high separability as well. Number 2, Gaussian kernels are the best in the classification process as they show high classification accuracy compared to the rest of the kernels, as well as separability higher than 1.9 for all class. Welcome and thank you for listening.